Maurice, welcome to Tanks Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional development. For today's items only, the events I'm going to talk today will be Ethereum to ETH. First, just want to say happy Friday, everybody, for a great week so far. We are almost to the weekend. Respect to recording time of 9:06 a.m. on the Eastern Time, Ethereum currently trading $3,227, up about 7.45% so far. Respect to overall crypto market is relatively green today. Respect to a lot of specific substantive macro catalysts that's driving this surge that we're experiencing today, right? And I've been keeping tabs ever since last night as the news broke out from Jerome Powell on the U.S. Federal Reserve Chairman on basically his depictions around, and I quote, no intention to ban cryptocurrencies at all. And he gives us a very confirmatory verbiage on that. And the second one would be El Salvador says it mines its first Bitcoin using volcanic energy. And also the third one that I'm also keeping tabs is today, this is more of a macro sector rotation type of affectations among crypto funds and hedge funds. Today is October 1st, right? And as hedge funds shift from Q3 to Q4, Q4 is typically, the golden time or the golden period in the fiscal perspective on an annual calendar spectrum. So, Q4 is typically a green quarter. And when that happens, like especially on the day one of that quarter, there will be a mandatory monetary injections into specific sectors of the market to keep the ball rolling, if you may, right? To basically restart the fiscal cycle on obviously in a quarterly perspective, right? So that subsequently drives some buying pressure on both the crypto side, but also on the equity side. And also today, the last one is, which is the fourth catalyst, would be, the option expiry with respect to Ethereum that's expected to expire today. And with respect to the option expiry, based on the spread right now, it's still relatively even, right? Based on the verbiage that I've read so far and looking at the quantitative metrics on the chart as well, that it's a binary outcome. So ultimately, we do not know how is that going to be affecting, but out of all, beside that one black swan, we have basically three positive catalysts, right? And also, I would say more the fifth one, if I'm even including that, and that's kind of a drag. It's really because of the media affectation, right? On, driving the fear mongering among investors on the China crackdown, which is something that's still durating, but seems like on the media front is little bit more of a pullback, and they're more reserved now. They're not gonna be keep throwing this down our throat anymore. And with that normalizes, subsequently alleviate some pressure for people to buy it again. So that is another affectation. And also with respect to the earlier last week, we heard from the FOMC meeting or 2 weeks ago. And that subsequently subsided because of the Jerome's verbiage on the confirmatory no ban for cryptocurrencies, and the timing for the quantitative tapering seems like it's going to be triangulating, and we have more confirmatory signals by November, despite the recent bond yield spikes, right? So a lot of factors, and I just named basically 7, even though I said 4. But some are more important than other on what's driving the overall market. But I would say with respect to the surge that we're seeing today, the direct head-on factor is really coming from the Jerome news on his no ban cryptocurrencies or no intention quote, right? So with respect to the technicals right now, let's just dive into it. You know what? Let's go through the news first. See any specific news. I've been reading up some news so far, but seems like there's beside that one specific news, talk about Bitcoin surging 10% and what's driving it, because obviously Jerome Powell's news. Some other news on Bazinga 1 hour ago, talk about TikTok will release Ethereum power-based NFT with Lil Nas X, Grims, and more. So this is something we heard from yesterday. Something that TikTok is seems like they are adopting NFT commercialization onto that platform. And then the next one is coming from Bazinga again. This is 10 hours ago, so it's a little bit a while back. Talk about the buoyancy of the resistance levels that we've been sustaining. So this is basically another article on technicals, which we will dive into a little bit later. And then the next one is the Fortunes 12 hours ago talk about crypto tax rules are changing. I don't know what that really means, but you know, crypto tax is something that is it's different by state. It's also different by you know, the asset class or with respect to your earnings income as well. So these are obviously something that they're improving upon, and this is not something that is confirmatory yet. Obviously, Don Beyer has that illustrative list of 57 pages on the crypto bill, listing out everything about tax rules, about what is characterized as real assets versus non-real assets, etc., etc. So good to know, but something that I guess we can, you know, consult with our tax advisor as our tax, you know, preparation comes in a later time next year. The next one is really talking about Dogecoin co-founder sets sights on Ethereum bridge and NFT for mass adoption. So it seems like Dogecoin, Billy Marcus, on his earlier depictions, I think he already said this in another article on Bazinga, but this is on Cointelegraph, saying his stamp of approval for NFT commercialization. In addition to Ethereum, which has been successful so far, it seems like Dogecoin is going to see some mass adoption as well. So it's going to be, and so is Solana, which we have also seen as well. So it seems like there is a lot of commercialization, or frankly, just popularization for NFT. And the next one is Bazinga 15 hours ago. It's talking about $62.7 million worth of Ethereum was just moved off Binance. This is probably just a transactional exchange, and there is no specific reason as to what happened. Seems like a whale just like relocated their holdings to somewhere else, but there is you know, there's no tracking of it, and the article does not say anything specifically about who this is, why this was happening, what was this for. Was this a transaction that was done because they sold it and they took it off the market, or was it because of you know, one transfer from another account, right? So it's interesting, but nothing really informative at all, to be honest with you. And that's pretty much it on the news. So right now on Ethereum, we are very bullish right now. You know, I would say moderately bullish because we had the 52 out of 70. So we are leaning more of a, you know, more of a upper echelon of the overbought. So we're not really overbought, but we almost to get to the overbought. But a good sign is that we're forming a golden cross. So that means we are going to keep leaping up if we are, you know, confirmed that we crossed, right? And I remember the news that we hear today with respect to Jerome Powell on saying no band, and how coincident is that today's October 1st, right? I could have sworn, like, and this is something we've been talking about, right? The last 3-4 days, 5 days so far has always been negative news, like China crackdown, you know, people losing their shit basically. And now it seems like everything is back to normal because it's October. Isn't that really kind of interesting, right? And now the technical is showing that we are bullish because obviously with that mega green candle, we're gonna basically shift the momentum from there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we hear more media front, you know, positive news coming forward, right? So if we were to crack, which we did, we cracked the 3150, the next level is 3350, okay? And the next level is 3450 if we keep going up, right? But we're not going to go up like in one rocket ship, right? But this is something that we might potentially get to if we are going to be forming a golden cross, like confirmatorily forming a golden cross. It seems like we are. We're at basically the verge of it. We're forming a little needle, so which is good. But with respect to the surge, are we going to go like all the way up to the moon? I think no, because we are at the 50 out of 70. If we were at the 35 and we're right here right now, yeah, we would totally get to the, you know, above this level actually. But right now, I think the near-term top will possibly be the 3450. So Bitcoin is basically matching with what we were before. So we're leaping up right now because of, you know, the Jerome Powell's news. We did form a golden cross, so we are gonna keep leaping up. We're at the 57 of 83. So in terms of the leap up, is either you go to the 48,000, apologies, or you go up to the $50,000 level, 50,556. Okay, but you could see that the gap is relatively large, and today we already have one large leap already, and on top of the fact that we are at close to like the 60 out of 70, but we are in the golden cross, so it's kind of net canceled out on both sides. So I think today surge is not sustainable. It's temporary. We might potentially get up to the next leap up to the 50,000. But that's about it. Are we going to go up all the way? I don't think so, because by the time we'll be extremely overbought, and you just have to sell back down, because mostly it's coming from public investors. Obviously some hedge funds as well, but there are some FOMO going in, and hedge funds have to liquidate some holdings for them to take some short-term profit if they read the technicals well, right? Dogecoin, again, the 20 cents was the dip, and right now we are leaping up to the 21. Next one is going to be basically the 22, and right now the setup is really good. I like Dogecoin a lot. I think because of the fact that we're not not in the mid level, we are like at the upper echelons of the oversold. Again, 35 is the rule of thumb, right? So despite the up 6% so far, we are forming a golden cross. So I think Dogecoin is a buy right now, or has been a buy for the last couple of days as well. Cardano forming a golden cross slowly with the 47. So Cardano is not a bad level if you bought at $2, which was the dip technically per our technical analysis, right? Solana up about 10%. This is mainly driven by the whole market because Solana is one of the popular ones right now, right? We are at the upper echelons of the moderate level of being overbought with this basically 57 out of 70. We are slowly crossing up. But in terms of the cross section, it's not completely confirmed yet because we have already sustained such a large surge already. We're up about 11%, and there is no substantive level as a platform that we're forming above. The real level that we're forming right now is the 133 or 130. The next level is technically the 112, and then the 98, right, or the 66, right? And this is not sustainable, so we have to watch, right? So I think right now, if you want to buy now, I would just probably hold off because of this surge. So XRP, we did break above the $1 level, up about 8.23%. So we are forming a golden cross. We're at the scale of 50, so kind of net canceled out. It's okay level to buy. Again, the $1 is not a bad level, right? But if you bought into 88, which was the dip technically, right? That will be a good level. So we'll have to see. The next level, if we leap up above the $1, would be the $1.10. We're at $1.01 right now, so you have like about 9 cents to leap up from here. And then last one is polkadot, which was another altcoin. This is not a good setup so far. Right now it's 52 out of 70, and you have still a lot of room for you to leap up. So the next leap up is technically going up to the 33.46, so 33.5 from here. So you have to watch. Can you leap another one with the weekend coming? And also with the option expiry on Ethereum, that could subsequently drive some stir into the altcoin market as well. So something to be cautious of, right? So anyways, with respect to the market cycle, we know that we're going to see more like upside down, or sideways oscillations, right? It's never going to be just like a flat line looking like you're dead in the water, right? So you have to be cautious about what's going to be happening. I know today is an odd time with respect to a lot of macro factors driving today's volatility. And it's so fishy that it's happening on the first day of October, the beginning of Q4. Because like if we have been keeping tracks, we know that the timing is kind of coincidental if you think about it, right? And I'm not being crazy, right? But like feel free to correct me, but like why is all the good news happening all of a sudden before the end of Q3 shifting to Q4 when we all know that the sector rotation is happening in Q4? You know what I'm trying to say? And with respect to Ethereum, I revised a little bit to the fair level. I think 3,150 would technically be the real level. And the reason, because 3000 again is not a substantive level. So these are all levels that are substantive with real technical consolidation zone. 3000 was never really a consolidation zone. It was just a flat number people hover around because it's the $3,000 level, or 2000 or 1000, right? But if you bought in at the 4000, like way before, right, just hold for a long term. That's, you know, I believe next year by now 9,800 or close to 10,000 should technically be very logical. So I really appreciate you for dropping by again. I hope you guys have a great rest of the Friday, and hope you guys stay tuned for what's coming up. Take care. Bye.